G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Dan Grows Mushrooms. Today I'm going to show you how I do a hardwood fuel pellet substrate mix and then inoculate it using grain spawn. A couple of weeks ago I showed you how I did same process using straw. I didn't enjoy that. Straw got everywhere. I had it in my ears, I had it in my hair. I had 3 showers that day and I still woke up the next morning with straw in my bed. So I very quickly went to this hardwood fuel pellet mix. You can do this in your shed, you can do it in your kitchen. Once you're finished, all you need to do is sweep a little bit of stuff up off the floor and you're done. We're doing it in the shed today. We're in front of the fruiting chamber. This is the current version of the fruiting chamber. It's running really well. It's producing heaps of mushrooms. I'm really happy with it. I'll do some videos about this separately, but for now, we're just gonna focus on this. So let's have a quick look at what we're gonna use and then we'll get into it. I've got some grain spawn here from Little Acre Mushrooms, fully colonized, amazing grain spawn. That's blue oyster, known as being a really aggressive species. Pink oyster behind's not so aggressive. That had a shake. It looked more like this a minute ago. And this one is lion's mane pom-pom. We're gonna make 4 bags each of these. I'm really stoked with Little Acres grain spawn. I am going to start making my own grain spawn, but these guys have been amazing to deal with. They're really friendly. They answer emails, all that sort of stuff. For now, I'm happy to buy these bags. They're about 45 bucks a bag. I can make, I think, about 10 or 12 bags out of each one of these. Bit of isopropyl alcohol. I have a little flame to sterilize my blade. This process does not need to be sterile. However, I do like to flame sterilize the bag before I cut into the grain spawn bags because I don't want to introduce any contaminants into these. Couple of measuring cups, set of scales, impulse sealer, a little bit of gypsum, some aspen shavings, and some hardwood fuel pellets, and of course our bags. So let's get into it and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so for the first step of the process, I've got my hardwood fuel pellets in a bucket just to make it easier. Got my scales, got my measuring jugs. I'm going to measure out 680 grams of fuel pellets. I want these numbers to be as exact as possible, so if the recipe calls for 680 grams, I want to be within 1 or 2 grams of that. So we want 680 grams of fuel pellets. We want about 65 to 70 grams of aspen snake bedding, which is pretty much one of these little guys packed down. We just want a little half teaspoon of gypsum. Okay, our next step is to pasteurize our fuel pellet mix using close to boiling water. This has just come off the stove. Be careful in this stage. Obviously, you're working with boiling water. Try not to hurt yourself. I'm doing it by hand. It works. It's not ideal. I have spilled a little bit of boiling water a couple of times. So just be careful at this stage if you decide to do this. For each bag, we're going to measure out 965 mils of water. And we want this to be exactly 965. So we're going to take our water straight into our bag, very carefully. The bag will move as the steam sort of runs up the plastic here. It'll soften the plastic and the bag will move on you. So just be careful. Fold it over, chuck it into the sealer. Seal it as close to the top of the bag as possible. This will let you shake it up later. You need to have a bit of air in here. Bag sealed. Move on to the next one. What I should be doing is putting these straight into a plastic kind of storage container with the lid on it, but I don't have enough space here, so I'm just going to whack them here, quickly do them, and then throw them all into the tub. All right, now with all the bags done, we're going to move them into this plastic box. We want to get all the bags in here nice and tight so that they keep each other warm. What we're doing here is pasteurizing the substrate using heat. So the heat from the bags, the heat from the boiling water is what's actually going to kill all the germs and stuff that are in the aspen, the fuel pellets, the air around us, any of that stuff, anything nasty, it's all going to be killed by this heat. So we're going to put everything into the box like this. Fold all the tops over. We're going to grab our lid, throw our lid on, This one's got holes in it. I used it as a fruiting chamber, but that'll be fine. Now that it's all closed up there like this, I'm gonna grab some towels. I'm gonna wrap it in towels, and I'm gonna try and keep as much of the heat in this as possible. This will sit for about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll take the top off, and then we'll let them cool down, and it'll be time to inoculate. Okay, so the bags have cooled down. They're pretty much at room temperature. Just gonna give them one last mix up and let them sit for a little bit longer, and they'll be good to go. Now I'm gonna take everything off the table, because this next step has to be reasonably sterile. It doesn't have to be completely sterile. You just gotta get it good enough so that you're not getting anything into the bags. I'll clean the whole table down properly. I clean everything before it goes back on there, and all is good. All right, so I'm gonna give my scissors a quick spray, rub that ISO in there, quick spray on the bag. Top of the bag comes off as close to the filter as possible. I'm sorry, as close to the seal as possible. Weigh the bag, it's about 1750. So we're going for 10%, which means we want 175 grams of spawn. There you go. Bit over, but that's all right. Quickly grab it off, straighten up the bag, and into the sealer. There we go, there's the bag done. Righto, so we'll do pink oyster now. Gonna spray everything down again. Spray this bag down, spray the sealer down, scissors, both gloves, and the bags. This time I've given it a really good shake to make sure that it's all broken up. It's easy to mix through. We've got 1760, so yep, we're going for 175-ish again. Top comes off. Whoop, way too much, but that's okay. Done. All right, guys, we've got our bags inoculated. Now we're just going to give them a real good shake, get all that stuff through, get them all mixed in together, and they'll be ready to store. Got our sealer here just in case we have a blowout with any of the seals. This is a really poor quality sealer, so a blowout's quite a lot. So just going to mix them through. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it as mixed through the bag as possible. Don't want it all in the top or all in the bottom, preferably. Tap them down, and there we go. Ooh. There we go, that's why we have a sealer handy. And that's it. These go into incubation for about 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, depending on how they go. Once they're ready and they've fully colonized, they go into the fruiting chamber and they start producing mushrooms. So that was the process. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, give me a like, give me a subscribe, do the things. Let me know in the comments too, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.